Hi guys, Sunday blessings. So just coming on to do my tarot and oracle review video for this week for you. So deck that I'm going to be reviewing today, this is another one that I got for my birthday. I'm really excited to share this with you. It's one that I've wanted for a little while, and it's Wizard's Tarot by Barbara Moore. So I don't know if you can see this here, and it's illustrated by Mieke Janssens. I don't know if I've said that right, so I'll hold it close so you can hopefully see the wording there. But this is a really cool deck. This is a deck that I've wanted for quite a long time actually, when I first kind of came across it. So it has been published and produced by Llewellyn, so we've got their sort of logo on the bottom there. So we've seen a few decks that have been created by Llewellyn, and they always have this amazing sort of packaging. So let's open up this bad boy, and then they always have beautiful imagery, they have beautiful artwork, they really go full colour with everything. They always have a fantastic book as well. So the book is always a beast, it's always big, as you can see, and yeah, everything in here like is all sort of full colour, so really beautiful on their quality. I just want to talk about the back cover again a little bit as well before we look in at the stuff itself. So what I really like is that they've got examples here of the sort of cards. That's always really good, I think, to put that on the back of the box, because then it gives you an immediate kind of indication if you think you're going to like it or not. Now what I really love with this deck, even though it's titled as Wizard, a bit like witches, you know, witches are actually gender neutral, is the same for wizards. They're actually gender neutral. They're just always sort of seen as being more masculine. So this book's really cool because there's a really nice balance of both masculine but also feminine energy. And I really like decks that sort of celebrate and include kind of both parties. So let me just pull these out a sec so we can see what we've got here. Okay. So beautiful deck, this one. So this is just the back of the box, so you get that back sort of piece there as well, which is really cool. So let's move that to one side. Now I haven't actually worked with these yet, so these are in order. So what you've got on the back of these cards is this beautiful artwork, this beautiful stunning dragon guarding this kind of a crystal kind of wand or staff. So those are the backs of the cards. Stunning artwork. This is a really arty-farty deck. It's a really great fantasy deck, this one, and it is beautiful artwork. Now the only slight downside with anything that is Llewellyn based is the stock quality is just a little bit thin of the cards, and I always question if you were working with these in a long-term format, would they sort of last? That's the only slight thing that I would say. Other than that, Llewellyn is amazing. It's a really good publisher. That's the only thing that very slightly lets it down. So, but for some people, they don't like thick sort of beastie cards, so, you know, then it works for you. A good size, nice size sort of tarot deck as well. It sits nicely in the hand. So let's just have a look at some of these. So these are in order. So we've got the Fool there, as you can see. So this is why I said again, it's honouring some of the femininity as well as the masculinity, which is pretty cool. So you will see an even mix of both. Now this isn't a Harry Potter deck, but I think it holds elements of like Harry Potter kind of energy within it, which is kind of pretty cool. It's just a really nice mystical, wizardy come witchy come sort of fairy tale like deck, and I really like this one. So some beautiful artwork, as you can see here. It's digital sort of artwork, but I'd say it's good digital artwork. Some looks really sort of nasty and tacky and cheap, but this looks really good, so I really like it. They've got a lot of dragon energy in these cards as well, which I also really like, because whether you're male or whether you're female, a lot of us tend to work with dragon energy in some format, so that's really nice to have that in there as well. Oops. So we'll just work through. I'm not going to show you all of these, but I want to show you obviously enough of these so that you can get a really good idea of what we've got going on here. I like the fact as well that even though it's kind of witchy and everything, some of these have got like a modern spin on stuff. That's really kind of cool. That's really nice to sort of see. So some really great cards here. I really love seeing people's different sort of adaptations of how they interpret things like the tower. This is really cool. I think this is a really nice version of the tower. You know, the fact that they don't actually have necessarily the people falling from it, but they've just got everything that needs to be in there. The lightning rod, the fire, the flames, and then the tower sort of crumbling. Oh, sorry, they have got the people in there. I do apologise. It's hard to see, but there is in the very distance, there's a couple of, I think there's like wizards or fairies or people. I don't know if you can see that, like falling from it. So I apologise, I didn't see that at first. But that's cool. Beautiful, beautiful though. And this is the kind of deck where these are the sort of cards or the sort of images you might just see randomly on like a greeting card for anyone that sort of buys like a sort of fantasy kind of greeting cards or birthday cards for people. These images could easily work for those as well as being like tarot based. So really, really beautiful. This is another one that I really like, the world. I love the way that they've done the world here. That's just stunning, as you can see. I also like the fact that they have in the gold at the bottom, it says like Ace of Wands. It says nicely what each piece is. I think that's really cool. So we're going to go into all the ace cards next. So again, you can just see all of those there. And then that kind of like theme kind of carries on. So as we go into the suits, so like this one, Two of Wands for instance, it still says on the bottom what it actually is. And I think that's quite cool to have that. I don't want to show you all of these if I can help it, but there's just so many beautiful, because they're so different from each other, I almost feel like maybe I might have to. But I don't really necessarily want to show you all of them, but I may well have to do that. It's really interesting because normally like when sort of tarot decks are put together, you have like all the suits together, but what they've actually done here is they've done like all the sort of like Three of Cups, Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles, everything's like been grouped together in that way. So that's really interesting. It's a bit different really. This one's really cool, Four of Wands. I love the way that actually is in that mirror. That's really powerful. And this is another powerful one, Four of Swords. Look at that. You know, these images are very good to work with because you can work with them from a very sort of powerful, intuitive space, as well as obviously tapping into the traditional aspects and the traditional meanings. Okay, I'm going to show you like maybe a couple more and then I think I'm going to end it there because I want to keep some back as a surprise just in case you decide to purchase this deck yourself. So we'll do all the sixes and then I'm going to leave it there I think. So we're going into like the Six of Wands here. It's a beautiful card. You can see what I mean about that sort of Harry Potter sort of theme, even though they're not actually obviously Harry Potter cards. But we've got that kind of energy, and even like the cloak that she's wearing there, it's got that sort of mischievous look about it. Okay, last one. There's one more I'll show you because I've just seen that last one, which looks quite cool. So I promise you this is now the last one. So yeah, a really, really beautiful deck in terms of artwork. So let's have a look at the book now. So like I say, the books that Llewellyn produce are stunning. So they're just sort of full of colour, they're full of, you know, real magic here. I mean, if you can see, that's just you know, it's a really, really beautiful piece of artwork. And then what you've got is like the framework and then each piece about the card. So that's pretty cool. I'm trying to see if there's anything at the beginning about either the, oh yeah, we've got this, perfect. I love it when you have this. So we've got a page about the author and then a page about the artist. I love seeing that. Beautiful coloured images as well. So there's a bit of a talk about that. And then we go straight into the introduction on the tarot itself. And then it talks about how it kind of was born, how it was birthed. And then it goes into a little bit, it sort of tells you like the sort of story of the fall really, and of the tarot, which that's really kind of nice to have. And then it goes into pretty much straight away into the sort of card meanings. And then at the back of the book, I've just noticed there are various card spreads and options that you can do and that you can sort of try there. So that's really cool to have. So let's have a little look and see what we need to know about for this Sunday, but also for the coming week ahead, because we're about to enter obviously into February time, so it'll be interesting to see what we need to know about as a collective energy. The last day of January, and then obviously moving into the magic of February time. Right, this definitely is one of my favourite decks, I've got to say. Like, just even shuffling the cards, I really like this. I think this is a deck you'll be seeing me work with a lot more in the future. So I know already this is instantly like a 10 deck for me. You know, it's just one of those decks where I just know it's definitely a 10. Yes, the stock quality is slightly, you know, lets it down, but other than that, this is absolutely a 10 deck. And I haven't even looked at the cards or the meaning yet, but I'm really excited to be able to share this one with you, because I've wanted it for a long time. Okay, so we've got, oh, interesting. We've got the Six of Swords that is showing. So I don't know if you can see that too well. Hopefully you can, because these cards are a little bit dark, some of them. So Six of Swords. So let's just find that in the book. So I've just got to see. It's really interesting as well, because they've got like the way they've done. Again, like I say, normally you would have all of the things together, but they've got like all the knights together, all the kings, all the queens. So that makes it a little bit confusing in terms of finding, but it's not too much of a problem. Right, here we go. So Six of, oh, hang on a sec. There we go. Six of Swords. So this is probably a better version of that card if you couldn't quite see it clearly in the actual card itself. So then what we've got here is got like keywords at the top. So we've got journey, heading towards safety, escape, flight, travel, assistance, admitting defeat, impossible situation, protection and shelter. So that's the kind of key merits to the card. And then it just says here reversed, remaining stuck, delay, worsening situation, potentially unseen danger. So that's interesting that they put a little bit of like a reversed meaning in there. And then we've just got a bit more of a deeper message. So it just says here, swords represent air, the mind, intellect, logic, thoughts, communication, truth, problems, solutions and action. The fives upset the stability of the fours, and the sixes re-establish normality. Roles are redefined, goals assessed and rewards given, with a focus on collaboration and relationships. When a situation is beyond repairing, sometimes the best you can do is leave. This is no time to be a hero, but instead call on one. Your situation is dicey and complicated, and you've probably worn yourself out with trying to solve it. Find someone you can trust and who has the means to help you. Then comes the hard part. Let them help you. You don't have to do everything on your own. Even after your escape plan is in motion, manage your thoughts and calm your fears. If you don't, they can become blocks to freedom. Don't let your concerns cause delays or create new problems. Focus on the immediate situation. You can play mind games with yourself later if you want. If you are the one aiding someone else, part of your job will be helping them keep calm. So that's really interesting. So for a lot of us this week, perhaps, there may be some situations that we have to either disconnect from or be careful about, or certainly open up and allow other people in to help us with those things. Yeah, really interesting kind of card, that. So it could be, there's quite a few sort of messages with that, isn't there, depending where it sits for you in a personal way. So very interesting, like that. This is, like I say, a fantastic deck, so I can't really fault it. It's definitely one of my 10 decks. I think it's definitely one, if you like wizards, witches, all things mystical, obviously dragons, because they heavily influence the dragon energy as well. This is definitely going to be a really cool little deck to have in the collection. So definitely worth checking it out, guys. I'm going to leave the energy of this with you. It's the Wizard's Tarot by Barbara Moore. So do check it out. A really, really great deck worth having in the collection. So I'm going to leave it with you. Stay safe and well. Have a fantastic week ahead. Have a magical February time as we approach and go into the transition there. And I'll catch up with some of you lovely soon. Take care. Bye for now.